Hi, it's Mitch from PickDawgz.com here to give this another shot with Chris and Rod. We got them here. All it takes is shutting down the software, opening it back up. The simple turn it off, turn it back on again. And here they are. Chris, how's it going today? Did you miss me yesterday?
I did miss you yesterday. The world is not the same without my daily dose of Mitch. I'll tell you that much. But we did get it on the drive through. But the show must go on. It's like you always say, and sometimes it is as simple as turning it off and turning it back on.
Well, everyone knows Carson Wentz is playing. I'm showing up. Rod, how's it going today?
Going good. Nice hockey games yesterday. So NHL season's well underway. I'm excited and happy now.
So how much does Carson Wentz suck? Before we even start the show, it's like, Chris, here, stop me where I'm.
let's just cut the clip of the brick of cash that you had for Vegas just at Carson Wentz.
The Wentz Fund.
That's gonna be our gift for Carson Wentz. It's just gonna be Carson Wentz is playing. It's just like putting you on the screen with just a stack of cash.
The only thing that I regret about that bet is that I had a chance to just bet the Bears with all of it, to just parlay it up on the Bears tonight against the Commanders. Just the anti-Wentz fund. I would like to also, with the Ron Rivera gets fired in the city where he got played, in the city where he played kicker on that one. I think this is Ron Rivera's last night as coach of the Washington Commanders as well. But we'll get into that in just a little bit more depth. As my Wentz filibuster, you guys can pretty much prepare yourself that there will be a Wentz filibuster, and it will be coming. Of course, a lot of the sharps are on the Commanders in this game. A lot of them. This is the Commanders once again. They're the sharp team that everybody loves. The Sharps love them. And every year the Sharps find a team where they get their teeth kicked in. And this year it is the Washington Commanders, who have not covered in any of their last 4 games. And the Sharps have been all over them in every one of those games, including last week at Tennessee, where I've heard the craziest opinions of this game. Chris, did you happen to catch last week's Titans-Commanders gem?
I caught bits and pieces, but I didn't catch anything.
Because I had a few mortgage payments. Well, I don't have a mortgage, but if I did, there would be a few mortgage payments. I don't have a mortgage because of games like that. But it's the thing is that Carson Wentz is straight ass. I mean, this guy is terrible, and he's on a team. When a coach starts pointing fingers at players, this is pretty much as bad as it gets, right? This is pretty much the end of the line, is when you start pointing fingers at players, especially your starting quarterback, who makes a lot more money than you.
How many sacks is he going to take tonight?
Oh,
4?
So the Commanders have they been sacked the most in the NFL this season?
I don't know. It's got to be getting up there for.
Yeah, what's the sack stats here? Like, as far as how many sacks the Bears have as a team, and how many the Commanders have given up.
Let's see if I can find it.
I'm looking as well. I'm on it as well.
The Commanders tied, or they're in second in the NFL. 20 sacks given up this season.
Oof. And how about the Bears as far as delivering the sack?
The Bears. Let's see.
Doesn't look like too many. Maybe teams have been running on the Bears.
I think their rush defense has been not very good. Let's see here. The Chicago Bears,
they're
tied for 22nd, seven sacks.
All right, well, they can double that up tonight. They're the pride and joy of Illinois. Bear down, Chicago Bear. Anyways, Chris, what are your thoughts on this made for Amazon Prime event?
I was gonna say, I think when Mr. Bezos got the rights to these Amazon Prime and Thursday Night Football games, I don't think he was expecting Bears versus Commanders, or at least this version of the Bears and Commanders. But I'm going to take the Chicago Bears in this one. Like you said, Carson Wentz, I believe the term you used was straight ass, and I'm not going to disagree with that. But the reality here is that the Chicago Bears have already won, in ugly weather situations. They did it against the San Francisco 49ers earlier this year. Winds supposed to be, in the 20 mile per hour range. I expect this to be a very ugly game. The one thing that the Chicago Bears do very well this season is run the football, and I expect that to be the MO here. And I expect Carson Wentz. I don't expect them to actually let him do enough damage. I think the chances that he is given, he will make some mistakes with. But I think the Chicago Bears just find a way to get the job done in this situation. So give me the Bears in this one.
Rod?
I like the over in this one. It's a 37.5, and that just seems way too low for me. You look, the last 4 meetings all have hit the over. Both defenses allowing 20-plus points a game. And then both offenses on turnovers. I think you can see both teams give up a pick 6, and then that just blows up your under. I'm not going to try to sweat out an under. I think this just sneaks over the total of 37.5. Last 4 meetings, 4-0 to the over. Offenses, Bears have given up 8 turnovers. Washington offense given up 8 turnovers. The chance of a pick 6 going in and really blowing up your under, I can see it. So I like the over here. Give me the over 37.5.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the same score as last week's game.
This could be just as ugly as last week's.
Yeah, I don't see any points being scored. I don't see any touchdowns at all. But anyways, before I get going, there's something else that I need to share with everybody that I know it's important, and we take everything very, very seriously here, as you guys know. So I just want to throw this on the screen, this email that I did get yesterday, and or I got this morning, and I just want to make sure that I share this with everyone because I know that you'll be as concerned as I am. And here it is. It's from the athletic director at University of Louisiana Lafayette, who we just have not had the best relationship, with this program. Good morning. I hope you're having a great week. I just read Randy Chambers' prediction of the Louisiana versus Marshall football game, and I want to take a few minutes to pass on to and your staff the proper references for the Raging Cajuns. Louisiana Lafayette, ULL, UL-L, and Lafayette are never proper references for our athletics or our university. The athletic references below are adopted by the NCAA in November 2016 and by ESPN, like we care what they think, but in early 2017, and included in the Sun Belt Conference Reference Guide in 2016, the athletic designations for UL Lafayette are Louisiana Raging Cajuns, Cajuns, Louisiana, and LA for abbreviation. Proper university designations include University of Louisiana at Lafayette and UL Lafayette. Please let me know if you need anything. Thanks and have a great rest of the week. Eric B. Maron, Senior Communications Representative, Office of Communications and Marketing, University of Louisiana, Lafayette. It's like, dude, we've been through this already. We don't give a shit. ULL. I think we should have our own shirts made up. It's ULL.
You laugh loud. I like it. ULL. You laughing loud.
Great. Chris is Italian. Hold on. Is the proper pronunciation Maron?
Maron.
Is that how you say it?
I think that material writes itself. But
Right.
Is that how you say it? Is that the proper pronunciation?
To tell you the truth, I think that's more Spanish, Maron.
Oh, Maron.
That's what my nonna says when she's mad at me. Maron.
That's what I say when I read that email.
That's probably what you said when you saw the name come through. You're like, wait a minute.
Maron.
Good morning. I hope you're having a great week. You just screwed it up for all of us.
I was until I got this.
I had the under. Don't get on my case. I gave them out as the free pick in the video. We can change sides pretty quickly over here. Yeah, they gave me their phone number. Should we call them? Oh man, where's my? I got my phone. We can plug it into the soundboard. Is this the ULL?
Is this Mr. Marone?
Is this the UL-LL or Lafayette? All they say not to address them as. Oh man.
We had an email. We had a question about the email you sent. Is it Maron?
Is it Maron or Moron? Or is it Moron? I'm not really sure. I mean, does it get any more?
We need the proper pronunciation of his last name so we don't mess it up.
I have a question for you, Chris. Does it get any more juvenile than making fun of people's last names? Does it?
What rhymes with Bart? Bart, Dart, Yart.
Shart. There, I said it. I feel better. Notice how we skipped the F word there. We just went straight to shart.
Yeah.
It's that kind of day. It's Carson Wednesday here at PickDawgz. Anyways, so last week, Wentz threw the interception at the 1 yard line, right, to end the game. And a lot of people that had the Commanders think that, oh, they just missed. But that's not what happened at all if you watch the game, okay? Derrick Henry carried the ball 28 times. You know why he carried the ball 28 times? They could not stop him. 3.6 yards per rush. That means if you give him the ball every play, they get a first down every 3 plays. That's what that means. And they called back some of his best and longest runs of the game were called back in that game, or else he would have had way more yards than that. And on top of it, Wentz's interception happened on third down. First and second down, both were dropped interceptions by the Titans on that same thing. Number 3, the only reason they had the ball at the 1 yard line was on a pass interference call, which was super debatable because it wasn't a catchable ball. Balls out of the back of the end zone are not considered catchable balls usually, but they're calling pass interference. I mean, it was incidental contact on a good day, right? They still gave it to him at the 1 yard line. The Commanders moved the ball down the field. The Titans gave them the middle of the field because they had no timeouts. So they wanted to prevent zone and let them move down the field, figuring, let them burn the time up. And it's Carson Wentz. He's not going to score on us or anything. So I think a lot of real misguided judgment on this one. I think you hit the Bears heavy, hard, and often in this game. I just do not see it. We saw the Bears at home against a bad quarterback with a much better defense than this, and they whipped their ass. And that was the San Francisco 49ers. They ain't going to see anything here that they didn't see there. I'll tell you that much. And you look at some of the other teams that they've lost to, it's not even close. My guess is Ron Rivera, who played in Chicago, was Wilbur Marshall's replacement at linebacker. Will be fired in Chicago tonight. I wonder if they'll fire him on the plane in the hangar like they did to Lane Kiffin at USC. Really wonder. Favorite firings of all time, Brett Bielema on the field at Arkansas. Because I always say, they should fire him on the field right there. When he makes the bad decision, just fire him right there. But they didn't. With Bielema, he didn't even make it to the locker room running off the field, and he was fired. And then Lane Kiffin, the plane had to stop to refuel, and they fired him in the airplane hangar. He had to fly back with the team as the fired head coach. Yeah, that's nothing fun about that, right?
No, that's not fun.
It's like, you ever go to a game like with your friends and it's like it's a big game and then all of a sudden it ends in some really bad fashion and you guys lose the game and no one talks on the ride home. It's like it was just bitter. That was like the Fulton Walker fumble against the Dolphins. Against Seattle, Dan Marino's rookie year. It was like New Year's Eve. It was like no one talked on the ride home. He was like fumbled the ball twice on the kickoffs. It's like, we were going to the Super Bowl that year. It's like terrible. It was like he fumbled, and it's like we were behind, and it was like No big deal. We got Marino. We can march down. We're within, striking distance. Then the next kickoff, he fumbles again. It was like no one talked on the ride home. But I think a fall night at Soldier Field and all those things going on, this is a lousy environment for a visitor. I don't see any angle here for the Commanders. I would love to hear from one of these cappers that has the Commanders what the angle is. Because this, they were on the 1 yard line last week, does not hold water if you watch the game. Because they lost the game. The Titans marched. They took the lead. The Titans marched. Every time they took the lead in the game, the Titans marched straight down the middle of the field. And with Ryan Tannehill, guiding Custer, riding his team into battle here, I don't know. I can't see it. And maybe I'm just that blind. I mean, I try and be fair and, whatever and all those things and all these, but I don't see this one. I do not see it. Chris, explain it to me. Explain to me any angle where you can get on the Commanders here.
I would if I could.
Yeah. The wind is blowing 20 miles an hour off of Lake Michigan. I loved it when I used to run competitively. The Soldier Field 10 was always one of my favorite races on Memorial Day. It ends on the 50-yard line of Soldier Field. They put you on the Jumbotron. Yeah. I loved it, man. Soldier 10 was always my favorite race when I lived in Chicago. Only 10 miles, So it wasn't like even a half marathon or anything. All along the lake. And right at the 50-yard line at Soldier on the Jumbotron. And I always finished early enough that it was like they announced my name over the PA system. Way to go, Mitch. Anyways, Wentz sucks. Move on.
You're blind. The Commanders are going to throw. What? Throw what? They're throwing the game? Nice. Bears all.
Not in a 20-mile-an-hour wind, they ain't. Have you ever been to Soldier Field when there's a 20-mile-an-hour crosswind? Because that's the wind at Soldier coming off the lake. Soldier's not built like running to the lake this way. Like, say, here's the lake, is the camera. It's not this way. It's this way. So the ball goes this way.
This way?
Yeah.
Right?
There are field goals. There has been, when I lived in Chicago, there was seriously field goal attempts that went out of bounds because the wind just carries the ball out that much. If you ever look, Devin Hester had a touchdown where they put him back. I think it was Hester. They put him back, and the guy did it, and he was standing in the corner of the end zone. And the ball came flying over the corner, and he just had the whole field, a straight lane. He went all the way down for a touchdown, 108 yards.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll never forget the way you thrilled the nation with your T formation. Bear down, Chicago Bear.
I miss the Chicago Bears primetimes games just so I could hear this. This is
the Bears. Bears 468, Commanders -6.
It's like that scoreboard from Space Jam where the Monstars keep putting up the points and just says it's getting a little bit one-sided, don't you think?
Oh man. I do think that Samuel on Washington is good. He definitely covers for Wentz. He is good. Outside of him, though, not a much. They're missing their best player. I mean, they're missing their very best player.
Could I interest you in no touchdowns scored in the game for plus 5,000?
I'm into it. Last week on our halftime show, Jay was like, I'm going to take the Commanders here. I forbid you.
I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't share the stage with you. I'm like, are you watching what's going on out there? It's a bull in a china shop. Derrick Henry. The Bears run the two running backs, right? Montgomery and
Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert's good. He's from Buffalo, right?
You mean college?
Yeah.
Didn't he play at Kansas?
Kansas?
I thought it was Kansas. Maybe I'm wrong.
Kansas isn't good because get used to. Wentz is 16 and 18 in primetime spots. I don't care. He sucks. He's on a bad team. Put it this way. They said that they have a better chance of winning with Matt Ryan as their quarterback than Carson Wentz. It pretty much says it all. We like our chances better with Matt Ryan than we do with Carson Wentz. Okay. I like my chances with Rusty Hilger better than Carson Wentz. Chase Daniel's been around so long. He's that first video I always show, He's the quarterback of Mizzou in that video. My first video I ever did online. Mitch's spotlight game.
Yeah.
Chase Daniel. I had the note cards taped to the screen. Chase Daniel is a very good quarterback. Carson Wentz. Justin Fields, I think, has all kinds of potential. I think Wentz has zero. I think that's all part of it. Anyways, are we done with Wentz?
I think we were done with him already weeks ago.
Better quarterback, Pete Wentz or Carson Wentz?
Pete Wentz.
More talented, Pete Wentz or Carson Wentz?
Pete Wentz.
Pretty much. Has had more success in Chicago.
Pete Wentz.
Pete Wentz is from Chicago. I was at the game where Pete Wentz sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" at Wrigley. That was a good one. Not as good as the guy from Green Day. He was the best. Billy Joe.
Oh, Billy Joe.
Yeah.
Billy Joe.
That was the best. He did it just like he was at a rock concert. Anyways, we move on to our next game. Oh, man. We could Wentz all day, couldn't we?
We could.
We could Wentz all day.
You could Wentz if you want to.
Freaking Wentz.
Because he ain't no friend of mine.
That was the famous Jared Goff, Carson Wentz draft. 1 and 2.
Man. Wasn't there...
Speaking of crap teams, we got Temple taking on UCF. UCF has that one loss against Louisville. It wasn't prime time, that they lost. And here comes Temple, 2-3, 0-2 against the number on the road, but 3-2 against the number this season. UCF 3-2 against the number this season as well. Chris, what do you think of this one?
As much as I don't like Temple, to do much of anything in this game, I do think that this is too many points for UCF. UCF's offense can be very spotty. Obviously, we've seen them perform really well, in spots. This is a UCF team that put up 40 on the road at FAU, 41 at home against SMU the last time we saw them. But they also lost at home 20-14 to Louisville. I don't think that they're going to lose to Temple here, but Temple's defense is pretty good for all the problems that they've had this season. It's near a top 20 scoring defense, third against the pass, mediocre against the run, and 13th in terms of total yardage allowed. So I think Temple could, keep this one fairly, not close, but keep it within the number, maybe a 24-3 kind of game. So give me Temple plus the points.
Rod, you want to explain to him what Temple's road record is against the number in our lifetimes?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Temple on the road is awful. Look at those zeros. Zeros. 0-6 their last 6 on the road. 3-13 in their last 16 conference games. I like the under. 4-1 their last 5. It's like, how do you not? I like the under. UCF 4-0 to the under, 5-0 to the under, following a straight up win. Both defenses are pretty good. I think USC covers. I think this is going to be a lopsided blowout. Be like.
But Temple is averaging, Rod, 15 points a game.
But then you got UCF's defense, which is they're going to make it really tough for them to move the ball. They're holding teams to 14 points, so I don't think they even get to their 15 today in that one. So I like the under, and I like UCF.
So Temple's third against the pass, and that generally means a lot of good corners and secondary guys. But UCF has a real physical rushing game, right? I mean,
big rushing guys. They're just going to impose their will, and it'll just be down the field, long drives, and eventually those come back to haunt you in the fourth quarter. Those long beating drives after you're the defense guy getting beat for 40 minutes. You're gonna be like Wentz. How many times can you get hit?
Is there any better name for a stadium than the Bounce House?
Right.
I don't think so. I like it. I don't know. I kind of like the over there. It just seems very low. I think we could see some defensive scores. Maybe some garbage time. I don't know. Don't love it. Go to our next game, Baylor and West Virginia. Chris, what do you think about this one? West Virginia, home doggy in this thing.
And they're going to come out, I think, a little bit fired up. Their backs against the wall here. You don't want to fall to 0-3 in Big 12 play to fall in line with Oklahoma and Iowa State, two teams I didn't think I'd be mentioning in that conversation. But I like the over here. I just think this is going to be a higher scoring game. I think 54.5 almost feels right, but I could easily see a 34-27 or 31-24 kind of game. And I just think we're going to get some offense going to this one, maybe some late touchdown. This one even could go to overtime, but I like the over here.
I think the more important question, about this game though, the one that everyone is really wondering if given the choice, is it JT Daniels or Carson Wentz?
JT Daniels.
Rod, what do you think of this one?
JT. In this one, I like Baylor here. I think they're both offensive line and defensive line are too strong, and eventually will impose their will and get to West Virginia. Look, Baylor off of an ATS loss, the big bounce back team, 24-2 ATS, their last 26 following an ATS loss. And I just don't like the way West Virginia plays in conference play. 1-5 ATS, their last 6 conference games. I know it's a tough place to play in West Virginia. Home team 4-1 ATS, but Baylor needs this win just as bad as West Virginia does. So I like Baylor here in this one. I think they win by a touchdown. They score one late. I think it's close all the way, and then Baylor gets one late.
I think Baylor wins the game. I think West Virginia covers. I don't like laying the hook here on the road. Baylor plays in a lot of tight games, running the football and low scoring. In West Virginia, tough building, man. Morgantown's tough. I've told you guys my Morgantown stories. I've been there. It's nothing, not a great place to be a visiting fan. I'll tell you that much. I asked James Clark if they still throw batteries, at opposing players. He said yes. So if you ever notice that the opposing team leaves their helmets on the entire game. True story.
So they don't get hit in the head with stuff.
The battery, nice. Yeah. It's true. This was a game where I've seen them throw the garbage can. Nothing pretty about it. I mean, in the from the stands.
From the stands.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yikes.
Yeah. It's a tough building. Couch burning, the whole thing. I'm going to take West Virginia in the points. I don't have a premium in this thing, to be honest with you. So I don't really have a dog in the fight. I'd love to have one of these cappers on the Commanders. Just to hear what they have to say.
The only thing that you can see is recency bias against they're 5-0 in the last 5 trips to Chicago. That's the only thing that looks like it's like if you want to jump on.
When's the last time Carson Wentz was the quarterback when they visited Chicago?
Well, yeah, exactly, right. So it's just like yeah, I no chance. I can take Washington now.
You got the Houston Astros taking on the Seattle Mariners, 3:37 Eastern Time start. Yesterday's 3:37 Eastern Time start, or whatever, 4:07 Eastern Time, whatever time it was supposed to start. Started at like 10 o'clock at night. So, I don't know. Framber's pitching against Castillo. Castillo last time out was, I think, so far the best pitching performance of the postseason was Castillo. In that wild card game against the Blue Jays, he was unhittable. He was a buzzsaw. It was everything. If they wanted to win a playoff round and they wanted to get him, you know, a guy, and they gave up so much to get this guy, they got everything that he was, you know, and they felt that this was the guy that pushed him over the top. Anything I said about like how much they gave up to get him all went out the window in that game. I mean, and not facing a timid batting order either. It wasn't like, you know, it wasn't facing off against Joey Wentz or something. What do you think of this one, Chris?
I'm going to go with the over in this one. You know, it's gone down to 6.5. You know, the Mariners, they've gotten 3 runs off of Framber Valdez in each of his 2 starts against Seattle this season, and I think they can get to him again here. You know, I thought that the under was probably safe when we saw Justin Verlander in Game 1, but it just did not end up being the case. These are 2 teams that are finding offense at the right time, and I think we have a fairly higher scoring game here. I think this one can get to 8 or 9 runs when all is said and done. So I like the over 6.5 in this one.
So, you know, win or lose, you know, for the Mariners, and that first game was a heartbreaker for them, but win or lose. I mean, Raleigh, France, Crawford, Rodriguez, Castillo,
Future's
Jorge
bright.
Kirby. You know, it's like, man, you got a team that has a chance to be good for a while.
Yep.
Rod, what do you think?
I agree. I like the over in this. Now that it dropped to 6.5, I definitely like the over. Both teams trending to the over, and sure Castillo did pitch lights out. I think he might give up 1 or 2 in this one, and even if he does have a solid 5-6 inning outing, I think runs come late. That total is just too low for these 2 teams. I agree. Give me the over 6.5 in that one. Mariners 5-0, 5-0-1 their last 6 on the grass. The over. Astros 4-0 in Valdez's last 4 starts after allowing 5 runs or more in the previous game of the over, and 12-5 the last 17 meetings. Yeah, I like the over.
What about the Castillo? The strikeouts are 4.5. Don't you think that's really low?
That seems fishy to me.
Right?
Something seems
Frambert's
fishy, right?
5.5.
Yeah, that seems fishy to me. Fishy.
Ruffalo's like fish and chips.
Fish?
Chips? Tartar sauce? Hold on a second.
I can't do tartar sauce.
Hold on.
I can't do tartar sauce. I don't know.
I don't do tartar sauce anymore. I go strictly to the Louisiana hot sauce.
Strictly to the ketchup.
Ketchup?
Yeah, for the chips.
Don't skimp on the chips. Oh, one fish chips. And don't skimp on the chips either.
I'm watching you. Yeah, Martha.
That better not be fries out of a bag. That's no good. If you're going to serve fish and chips, you better be cooking homemade chips to go with it. Come on.
The worst fries are ones with any kind of extraneous substance on them. Flour, batter,
well, that's any that come.
Anything.
That's any that come out of a frozen bag. Any?
Any?
They all put a spray stuff on top to.
Like what kind of spray?
That's why they cook. That's why it's like a cooking spray. They put oil. They
like
spray
what?
stuff on them to
like
brown them up in the oven.
What kind of spray?
It might be that good old edible oil product that's in a lot of foods that people love.
All right. Sounds good for the digestive system.
Oh,
Nature's brew.
Have some international creamer and see how it goes.
Man. See what I missed yesterday? It's like I had so many meetings yesterday, I couldn't even make the show. Like this is why people that own the sites and stuff are never on the videos, you know? It's because I had so many meetings. I swear it was back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And then it went all the way through to the show, to the football show, and then I was on the drive-through. Like, man, thankfully we only had like 2 or 3 videos I had to do. Under first 5, Castillo and Framber.
I can see that under first 5, and then
the Yurfee, you know,
game.
I gave out that Mariners Yurfee on the last time I was on this show, and I also gave it out in my 7 free picks in just 5 minutes. It was plus 134 last time. Today it's only plus 110 because they scored the last time. Man, it just seems that France is just missing on his home runs too. I mean, he's just needs to get a little higher. I see London. I see Pants. I see Tyler France.
I see London. I see France. I see Tyler France.
I see
doing
Pants.
a happy dance.
Well, you gotta mix up the words to make it work. It's I see London. I see Pants. I see Tyler France.
Doing a happy dance.
Could be doing a happy dance. Tyler France. There's a place in France where the alligators dance.
Speaking of France, there's rats like this, man. In France.
French rats.
French rats. Yeah,
I like to call them les rats.
We hang out with the swans over here. It's like, what the?
Les rats. Do you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese?
That's what it is.
Royale with cheese.
Oh, cheese. Uh-huh.
I like when he says it. Brett, you know what they call the quarter pounder cheese in France? Royale with cheese. You know why they do that? It's like the metric system. Look at you. Look at you. And it's Yankees against the Guardians. Nestor Cortez Jr. Chris's second favorite junior behind Desi Arnaz Jr. versus Shane Bieber, who was sensational in his wild card matchup as well. Chris, what do you think of this one?
Well, I hate to break it to Nestor, but he's now third behind Carl's Jr. as well. But I'm gonna go with the under 6 here. I still just I
Well,
just
Lance McCullers Jr.
Okay, now fourth. I just don't know what to make of this Cleveland offense. You know, scored 4 runs total in the postseason so far, and really just hasn't been anything to write home about. Nestor Cortez Jr. could have some success here, but I expect Shane Bieber to throw another gem. He's been absolutely outstanding over the last month plus of the season, and I think it's just going to be another low scoring game. Will it be one sided? Who knows? But I like the under a lot in this game, under 6.
Rod?
I like the under first 5. You get the under 3.5 in this one. You look Nestor Cortez there, 2-0 with 4.9 wit or ERA over his last 3 innings or three games of work over what is that 20?
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Rod just spitting out numbers, trying to piece them together. Like he's got his beer in the left hand. Like, you're not exactly right. What are you looking at?
Nestor Cortez at home. He's 6-1 with a 1.95 ERA, and Bieber on the road 8.3, 2.65 ERA. I like the under first 5.
I'm with you. I think runs are going to be tough to come by in this one. I like the under first 5. I like the under for the game as well. I think Bieber, I think he's the type of guy that frustrates the big swingers. You don't see him give up a lot of home runs. And that's how the Yankees won Game 1 was via the long ball. All right. If Anthony Rizzo is your next door neighbor, right? Which he isn't mine. Do you even give this guy the time of day? What do you think? I think he's like one of those high school jocks that you just want to, who the hell does this guy think he is? I don't know. Just seems like that type. I don't know him personally.
He's a flaming bag of poop on his doorstep.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the flaming bag of poop.
Because they used to have when I lived in Chicago, they had a commercial with him and Chris Bryant, and I used to be part of like Major League Baseball. They took me off the list, but I used to be part of the people that like evaluated their marketing campaigns. Like I was part of the group for Major League Baseball, and they said, "Well, what do you think of this ad?" It was Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant. I'm like, I don't know. These are the kids we hated in high school because they acted like they were better than everybody else. I have no idea. it's like, who's that jockstrap? Anthony Rizzo. Anyways, he did have a nice home run there. What are you selling today, Chris?
Well, today I got a couple things on the board. I got my $15 pick-off play. We fell short in the MLB action yesterday, but looking to bounce back here. Those plays have been pretty much money over the last couple of months. Also got my $15 Thursday night NFL whale bet, and that whale bet also part of my Thursday throwdown 3-pack. Got 2 college football plays as well as the NFL plays.
Oh, wrong button. Oh, I forgot to change our PickDawgz logo. I got a new logo for us.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
but I got that 3-pack for $40. PickDawgz Premium. Remember, use that promo code 15 off. Daily passes, long term, anything. Get the best bang for your buck.
Rod?
And for me, I got head on over. I got my $15 MLB bookie buster. We hit it yesterday with the Braves, looking to make it back-to-back winning plays on that. And I also got my NHL hat trick play. The 3 plays I love in the NHL. Swept the board in the NHL last night. Looking to keep that rolling. Off to a nice 4-1 start in the NHL. So let's keep it rolling on the ice. Head on over, as Chris said, use that code 15 off. Get 50% off all your purchases over PickDawgz Premium. Now's the date. This is a Thursday. You want to grab a 3-day pass. You get Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Get you all right on through the weekend. Thursdays are the day to grab the 3-pack.
You're not the boss of me. All right. That was fun. All right. So we have the PickDawgz gear at the website. If you use the code football, you get 15% off. Or 25% off. 25% off. This is our Halloween logo. I forgot to put it up. Sorry. Got to do it. So I'll have to do it live in front of you guys. So embarrassing. It's our Halloween logo.
You're just going to leave it over. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, looks better that way.
Put it here. We'll probably have it's like we'll like be one of those stores that leaves the grand opening sign up for 4 years. It's like we'll have this thing up for next Halloween. Like, people will be saying,
it could work for Christmas.
People will be saying, you still got the PickDawgz Halloween dog up,
Right. The Christmas lights are still up. It's the middle of the summer.
Go.
Well, yeah, now they're patio lights. Patio lanterns.
There we go. It's pretty cool, right? Sam made that. You like that, don't
you? I do. I'd like that on a t-shirt.
I do, actually.
Or on a hat. I think that would be awesome.
All right. Well, we have 25% off. Use the code football. You get 25% off all the swag until the 16th. It only runs for 3 days. I'm going to put it in the newsletter. If you guys haven't signed up for the newsletter, sign up for the newsletter at the website. Just go to pickdawgz.com. There'll be a pop-up. It's annoying. Just sign up. Just put your email in there. Sign up for it. I'm going to give everybody a free consensus report. Here's the spoiler alert. Tomorrow I'm going to put in an email like one of those codes. You get a free 3-day consensus. But if you open up a sportsbook account using our link and you send me a screenshot of that, and after I get confirmation from the sportsbook, I'll give you a free year consensus, $400 value. All you got to do, and it costs you nothing because all you're doing is signing up for a sportsbook, making a deposit, betting on sports, which is what you do anyway. We know you guys. That's what you do. We're not saying you have a problem. Don't look at my stuff. This is none of your concern.
Don't put me in a box.
This is none of your concern.
Is the promo code for football 25% off? Is it all lowercase or all uppercase?
I don't know. I think either one might work.
Either one work. Okay. Well,
It's
there's
on-
promo code football. Somebody's asking what the phone. Somebody said they need a hat.
Yeah,
Need
get
the
a
promo
hat,
code.
get a
So it's-
get a hoodie, get one of these,
Football.
get a shirt, get whatever.
Yeah.
I do like the Halloween logo. We could have done like something special with that. You did the math.
I like the Halloween logo. Yeah, that's
That's cool,
awesome.
right?
Yeah. We're jealous. We all want the logo now.
So spooky.
All of a sudden, people are knocking at the door. Come on, we want the logo.
People are like watching, like somehow this show got even worse. Wow, we got a full NHL card tonight. Got the Penguins and the Coyotes. We've got the Flyers and the Devils, the Sabres and the Senators, and the Islanders and the Panthers. Chris, what do you think of these four? Any of them do anything for you?
Yeah, I do like the Penguins on the puck line, but again, you're probably having to push it to -2.5 to get any sort of reasonable value in that game. The Coyotes are going to be the worst team in the NHL this season. They're playing at Arizona State's hockey stadium. That's how bad the situation is for the Coyotes. And I don't even know if they're going to be able to fill a 5,000 seat stadium. I think the Penguins, far better team here. They just addressed all the big contracts they had to in the offseason. So I like the Penguins there. And I also like the Senators against the Buffalo Sabres. I like the direction that Ottawa's headed in. Buffalo, they're a young team as well, but I don't know. I'm not sold on the Sabres just yet. I think that the Senators just have more going for them right now to start the year. So give me the Senators in that one.
Rod, -420 for you on the Penguins?
Yeah, that's a good number.
You gotta be.
I
if you're gonna
shopped
play
it. I
that.
shopped it. I got it at -415.
You look and this Arizona team hasn't beat the Penguins since February 11th, 2017. So how many years is that? That's why that number is the way it is. But let's get a bettable number that we can get on that game. I like the under 6.5 goals. This Arizona Coyotes team are going to be struggling to score. I don't think Tristan Jarry, who's in goal, going to give up more than 2 goals. I'm going to say it the most, and Pittsburgh probably pops 4. This game got 4-2 written all over it, so you get under the 6.5. So I like the under 6.5 in that one. And I agree. I like this Ottawa team this season. Young, gritty. Both teams are going to be young and gritty, but with the addition of Giroux in there, and Ottawa's got very good talent in goal. Even if their starters go, they got backups on their backups. Very depth, deep team. I like Ottawa here. I agree with Chris. Got to go with Ottawa over Buffalo. Buffalo doesn't not big starters. Did they lose like 4 in a row to start the season last year?
Not sure.
Those are the 2 I like. Those ones.
What about the Islanders?
Panthers.
Islanders.
I'm only saying that because Ron keeps messaging me about the Islanders, so I'm just going to go.
What about all these totals? Like only one total south of 6. The whole board. What's up with that?
I part of it is it's just an adjustment period. New goaltenders maybe getting their feet back underneath them. I mean, we saw last night. We saw multiple games go well into the 8-9 range. The Leafs game finished 4-3. Or I think the Oilers game finished like 5-3 or something like that.
5-3. They went over too. Colorado finished 5-2, so it went over. Washington, Boston went over because it was 5-2. That's why there's a reason why, because there've been more scoring in hockey. That's what they want. Scoring has been up, so no, the defense has definitely not been the way of the NHL. More teams have been scoring, lots of overs.
All right.
So the books are just trying to catch up, and that's why we got these big lines early too. I think the books taken a beat in the last 2 years with favorites coming in, and that's why they've jacked the lines early. We're in what, few games into the season, and we're already seeing minus 420 lines.
I gotta get it. I don't know where the lucky penny is. Gotta find it. Or we'll just have to get a new one. Mom, where's the meatloaf?
Ah,
What's she doing back there? Got the Maple Laughs against the Capitals. Got the Smudges against the Rangers. The worst name in sports versus the Stars. Flamers versus the Avalanche. Vegas against the Golden Knights minus 375. And the Kings versus the Smoking Kraken.
First of all, it's the make me laughs, not the me. Second of all, I'm taking the over 6.5, over 7 in that game. I like the goaltending for Toronto with Samsonov, and I like Charlie Lindgren, but this has just been historically a high scoring matchup. 8.3 goals per game the last 3 meetings between these two. I think this is no different, especially both teams on the back-to-back here. I'm going to go with the over 6.5, over 7 there. And I'm going to take Vegas on the puck line. Chicago looking dreadful out of the gate already. And I think you could even lay minus 2.5 in this thing. I think the Vegas Golden Knights are going to be legit this season. And I have no hope for the Chicago Blackhawks. So give me the Vegas Golden Knights on the puck line there.
That'll be our Vegas Knights. Too legit to quit. Rod?
Yeah.
Care about any of these games? Smudges? A little smudge action for you against the Rangers? Rangers look good again. They beat the Lightning. Plus 115 here against the Smudgers.
See, and I like Minnesota in that spot. I think they grabbed the win. I know New York's got one game underhand, but this is the home opener, and playing in Minnesota, really tough spot. So I would lay it here with the Smudges, as the Smudges. I believe they beat them last 2 games, and definitely they come to play. This Minnesota Smudge team is pretty good. So I like them here. I think they grab a nice home win. So I would go with the Smudges in that one. I like the under Dallas, Nashville. Both meetings last year in Nashville went to the under. It was 2-1, 2-1 in both of those. Also, it's 65-5 to the under the last 26 in Nashville. So I like
that's Cashville to you.
In that one, Dallas on the road has not been good. So
all out of practice.
Definitely lead to Cashville on that one. They've got 2 games under their hand from playing in Prague, so they're already 2-0 to start the season, and it's game 3 for them. So definitely ahead of getting the legs going. That's for sure. And the other one, it's Calgary's playing. You're giving me plus money to take the Stanley Cup champs. Maybe it's a trap. It looks like it was trying to bait you into taking the champs. Well, I'm going to take the champs. I hate Calgary. We know that. Give the ass. Oh, speaking of Ron, he heard you. Josh Bailey, MVP.
All right.
What do you get on that? Plus 10,000?
I don't even think there's odds on it. That's how much of a long shot it is.
Yeah, I was going to say. I don't see that.
All right.
Everybody has their whole routine. Come on now. We seen mine yesterday.
Except for me.
Daybreak is Dallas. Ron is definitely the Islanders. He loves his Islanders.
We got the Pistons against the Grizz and the Spurs against the Thunder Buddies. Chris?
Yeah, I'm done with the Spurs. I'm taking the Thunder Buddies. I think that Thunder just a better team here, and I have a feeling I'm going to be fading the Spurs a lot this season. So why not start now? I'm going to take the Thunder in this one.
Rod?
I think you fading Detroit a lot this season too. I'll take Memphis. Give me the Grizzlies. Detroit looks awful. Even at home, they look awful. Love the Grizzlies in that one. And I agree. We got to go with OKC in this one. Paramount, Memphis, OKC, parlay them up.
All right.
Spurs definitely in a rebuilding year.
Speaking of parlays, who likes? Well, didn't the Thunder, their first round draft choice, is out for the season, right? It's like, any parlays for today?
Yeah, I'll go with the under 6 Guardians Yankees.
6 runs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with the Chicago Bears and give me the Temple Owls plus the points.
Rod.
And I like the under in Dallas and Nashville. Take the Baylor Bears. Just take them on the money line. They win that one.
You could go Bears. Bruins. Are the Bruins
Ooh,
playing?
Yeah. No, they played yesterday.
You go Bears.
Grizzlies are
Bears.
close enough
Bruins.
to Bears, so we'll go Bears, the Baylor Bears, and then
The
the Memphis
Bears.
Grizzlies because they look close like a bear. So
There you
there.
go.
I like that one.
They're the pride and joy of Illinois. Bear down. Chicago Bears. I'm going to skip the parlay and I'm just going to take Chicago Bears minus 6.5 at plus 234. Bear
Nice.
down. Chicago Bears.
And no touchdown scored in the game plus 5,000.
We'll never forget the way you led the nation with your T formation. Bear down, Chicago Bears. We should sing the Bears song every time the Bears play. I'll sing it.
Oh no. As soon as I heard the keystrokes and heard I'll sing it for you, I knew exactly what was happening here.
All right.
Do they play the words on the Jumbotron so we can sing along?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you guys at halftime tonight of Thursday Night Football on Amazon